This afternoon, the Upper West Security Council has started talks to resolve the confusion which has led to the disconnection of electricity supply to 2 tertiary institutions in the region. Academic work has grounded to a halt with students unable to study, register or have administrative work done. The Polytchnic, for instance, has not paid electricity bills since 2007, that's about 12 years, bringing their total debt to 4 million Ghana cedis. The campus of the University of Development Studies also owes 3 million Ghana cedis, neglecting payments since 2013, a period of 6 years. We hear from NEDCO officials leading the negotiations shortly. But first, here is a report from Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam on a special exercise undertaken by the Northern Electricity Company and VRA yesterday.
The university since 2013 has not paid its electricity bills. They owed VRA NEDCO a colossal amount of 3 million Ghana cedis. Lectures were going on at Lecture Hall 1 and at the pavilion when the 5-member team of engineers led by technician engineer Wandelen Komleche discreetly informed some senior staff of the university about a special exercise they are embarking on, who the university was part of those caught in the web. They quickly moved into action, and within minutes there was brownout at the entire university campus, with the exception of the private hostels that are located at the campus. The lecture halls suddenly went dark, and the temperature inside the halls began to rise. Visibility and ventilation at the lecture halls became poorer, and the lecturers had no option than to end their lectures prematurely. Kwame Abuaji is a level 200 student, and he painted a mental picture of the situation.
Even students right now are still undergoing their registration process. And if the LICE or VRA, they are not able to fix the LICE problem, I think those students will be cut off. And if the deadline is due and they are not able to meet their verification and the registration as well, then it means that those people either they will defer their course for next academic year, or there will be other things. So we plead that maybe VRA will come to us. Even it's just a lecture we have just ended, and looking at the lecture, when we were inside, the whole hall was it was too hot because the fans were not working because of the light out.
Known to many of the students, the blackout was the usual unplanned or forced outage of the Volta River Authority, and for that matter, they are not the least perturbed because the challenge will soon be resolved. The next place visited by the team was the Polytchnic. The amount owed as a result of unpaid electricity bills is a little over 4 million Ghana cedis. In fact, they haven't honored their electricity bills since the inception of the Polytchnic in 2007.
My name is Charles Phillips from VRA. We've been ordered to disconnect 4 accounts here. We have the lecture hall, the administration block at the campus, library complex, engineering workshop. It's indebted to the tune of over 3 million Ghana cedis.
Their sin, according to NEDCO, was so grievous that the power has to be disconnected from the takeoff of the transformers. Acting rector of the Polytchnic, Idris Munumpo Mohammed, conceded that they haven't paid electricity bills for 12 years, but was quick to state that they have processed all electricity bills and forwarded to the Ministry of Finance for payment. He is, however, surprised about a certain turn of events.
Maybe some pressure has to be applied. We cannot on our own get it from our accounts from anywhere. It's simply not there. And disconnectedness means that bringing this institution to its knees. We have just begun the semester, and that can cause a lot of trouble for us anyway. So I was just speaking to them the last time they came. I was speaking to the regional manager. You need to have some understanding. We need to exercise some patience. We are doing everything we can do to get the power, the bill paid, so that we don't go off. Unless, of course, the intention is that You want to cause us many more problems by disconnecting us, where our students cannot, lectures cannot go on.
Most students of the two public institutions are unaware that the blackout they are experiencing now is not as a result of the user via NEDCO unplanned outage. It is only when lectures are continuously cancelled and the halls of residents are without power that they will stop blaming the VIA NEDCO for their inefficiency, but rather parry the blame at the university authorities or probably the government. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Let's get on the phone lines now and speak to the district supervisor of the VRA/NEDCO, Martin Ayimedu. Ms. Ayimedu, thank you for your time this afternoon. You were at the meeting held by the minister that ended a few minutes ago. Tell us what went on at this meeting.
Okay. The regional minister invited us to his office concerning the disconnection to these two institutions, that the UDS and the Polytchnic. And you know, he's the father of the region and at the same time the president rep in the region. So he called both parties to his office and tried to understand the situation. And actually we made it known to them that our interest is not about putting those two institutions in darkness. Our interest is to get those bills paid, settled. And it is something that we have dialogue with both institutions, letters, direct negotiations, meeting the management one-on-one several times, and it is like those things were not actually what because we are not having a headway. We ensure that maybe they will understand us better when power is actually taken off, because you know electricity you pay for it before what because you what because dispute. So we need the monies. So as a result, he called us to the office and said, looking at the security implications in the region and looking at the children at the both campuses, he need to actually intervene and see the way forward. So he took upon himself to ensure that both the utility as the service provider and the two institutions who are the energy user to actually we see how best this particular issue can be solved once and for all.
You said he mentioned that he will be working with you to look at the way forward. Did you come up with any idea as to what the way forward will be from now?
So for the UDS, in the meeting, they made us aware that the Vice Chancellor had already met our NEDCO management in Tamale. And fortunate on our side, even when we were in the meeting, an email message came to our area manager informing them that the management of the tertiary, what we call the university, that the tertiary council, they are going to have a meeting on the 8th and 9th of October. And this payment of the electricity bills is going to be one of the what they call the major agenda in what they are going to discuss. So from that particular meeting, they will come back and give tentative what they call the plan of what they call settling the bills. And the minister too assured us that, because we made it clear to him that coming to the RCC is not the first time on this particular issue. We have been there before on what they call this is the second occasion.
So if I understand you well, Mr. Ayimedu, there hasn't really been any resolution. The only thing that has happened was that the minister called you and said to give the university or to give the schools some time to settle this. But there hasn't really been any concrete steps to be taken for that payment to be made. Am I correct?
No, there has been, for the university, UDS, I can say there has been a concrete step because they have actually met the NEDCO management, that's our head office in Tamale, about the settlement of this bill. But the regional minister too, as the father of the what you call this thing to us, assured. But you know, the main what they call our target is not to deny the two institutions power. The interest is to actually getting
is to get the money, because I assume that the lack of this amount is affecting NEDCO's operation. Tell us briefly how that's affecting you.
Really.
Yeah, how is it affecting you exactly?
My sister, you know, everybody is looking for an efficient way of running what they call the electricity. Day in, day out, people call do so and that sort of thing. All this thing as a result of a lack of what they call the finances to run what they call our operations. You get my point. So our interest is actually run the system in such a way that we can actually get to the customer doorstep at any time when there's a call.
Okay.
But if the bills are not being paid, how do you get funds to do those things?
But finally, Ms. Ayemedo, these schools have owed you for about 12 years. I mean, yes. over a decade. So you cannot absorb.
It is what they call looking at what they call it is what they call the one poly that is over a decade. But what they call the UDS,
but still,
the last
the point I'm trying
was
to
2013.
The point I'm trying to make is that the NEDCO cannot be absolved of blame, you know, for allowing this debt to pile up well over 13 years. That's a long time.
Good.
How has NEDCO sat down to allow this to happen?
Not that we've sat down. If you actually get to know from these both institutions, behind the scene, there has been this letter and the movement of negotiating. But all the time, the promises is the government, is the government, is the government. Today, for instance, in the meeting, we made them understand that the government, if nothing is sent to the government table, how would the government know that you have this, what they call the bills to settle? Okay. So we made them to understand that there's something which is not actually going forward. Because you, my sister, you know, in the country, every year, the government actually presents its budget. And this budget is about this sort of, what do you call the bills and those things that are actually pushed over there. So if this thing is not sent to the government, how would the government know that he has such what they call bills to settle in those areas?
Okay.
So this is what we have made them understand that there is a shortcoming from their end.
So is there
they need to do something. It is not about when the bill comes to you, you put in a corporate memo and say you address it to your head office, and that ends it. No.
So, Mr. Ayemedo, is there a timeline within which they are asking to get the money?
Because we know the government
Ayemedo, can you hear me?
This free HS, senior high school, what they call bills. You have settled some.
Mr. Ayemedo,
you have settled what they call those bills.
Are you there, Mr. Ayemedo? Can you hear me? I'm asking, Mr. Ayemedo, I'm asking whether there was a timeline within which this money will be paid after the meeting.
Okay, actually, the minister promised that he is actually being now present. He called to the vice president office. He wanted to actually have interaction with the secretary. Only that he didn't get its way through. He has promised that in any case, he believed that he will actually, from today to Friday, he and the vice president will meet, and this thing will be one of the agendas that they are going to actually discuss.
Okay.
Actually see the way forward. So the minister has even promised. So right now it is like our trust and our belief is in the regional minister.
Okay.
That now he's the person that concerning the settlement of this bill will be moving to.
All right. Mr. Ayimedu, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
You are welcome.
Here on The Pulse. Mr. Ayimedu there, he is District Supervisor for NEDCO in Wa.